The scope of modern assurance services extends well beyond the traditional audit of general-purpose financial statements. Organizations increasingly require independent assurance over specialized financial information, interim reports, summary financial statements, and financial information prepared for specific regulatory or contractual purposes. International Standards on Auditing, ISAs, International Standards on Review Engagements, ISREs, and related assurance standards establish a comprehensive framework governing these engagements while ensuring that users receive reliable and appropriately supported conclusions. Although these engagements differ in scope and assurance level, they share common objectives of enhancing information credibility, strengthening governance, and reducing information risk for stakeholders. As business reporting becomes increasingly diversified, assurance practitioners must apply professional judgment and specialized standards to address the unique characteristics of these engagements. Audits of specialized areas. Audits of specialized areas involve assurance engagements over financial information prepared for purposes other than general-purpose financial reporting. These engagements require auditors to understand the intended users, applicable reporting framework, and unique reporting objectives before designing appropriate audit procedures. Although specialized audits follow the same fundamental auditing principles as general financial statement audits, the nature of the financial information and reporting framework often requires modified audit planning, evidence gathering, and reporting considerations. Special Purpose Financial Statements. Special Purpose Financial Statements are prepared using accounting frameworks designed to satisfy the needs of specific users rather than the general public. These statements may be prepared to comply with taxation legislation, contractual agreements, regulatory requirements, lending arrangements, liquidation proceedings, or other specialized reporting purposes. Because special purpose frameworks may differ significantly from general purpose accounting standards, auditors must assess whether the selected framework is acceptable for its intended purpose and whether financial statements adequately describe the basis of preparation. The auditor's report identifies the special purpose framework applied and typically includes an emphasis that the financial statements may not be suitable for use by parties other than the intended users. Despite these reporting differences, auditors must still obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence and comply fully with auditing standards applicable to the engagement. Single financial statements and specific financial statement components. Assurance engagements may also focus on individual financial statements or specific financial statement components rather than a complete set of financial statements. Examples include audits of a statement of financial position, statement of profit or loss, accounts receivable balances, inventory schedules, royalty calculations, or grant expenditure reports. Such engagements frequently arise where regulators, lenders, investors, or contractual arrangements require assurance over specific financial information rather than the entity's complete financial reporting package. The auditor evaluates the selected component using the applicable financial reporting framework while considering whether relationships with the remaining financial information could materially affect interpretation. Audit procedures are tailored to the specific assertions relevant to the component under examination. Summary financial statements. Summary financial statements present condensed financial information derived from audited financial statements and are commonly used in annual reports, shareholder communications, and public reporting documents. The objective of an audit engagement over summary financial statements is not to re-audit the underlying financial information, but to determine whether the summary is consistent with the audited financial statements and appropriately prepared in accordance with established criteria. Auditors verify that summary information accurately reflects the audited financial statements without material omission or distortion, and that users are clearly informed that the summary should be read in conjunction with the complete audited financial statements. Review engagements. Review engagements provide limited assurance rather than the reasonable assurance provided by an audit. The practitioner performs substantially fewer procedures than in a full audit and expresses a negative form of conclusion stating that nothing has come to their attention indicating that the financial information is materially misstated. Reviews primarily involve inquiries of management and analytical procedures rather than extensive testing of transactions, internal controls, and supporting documentation. Consequently, review engagements require less evidence and involve lower engagement risk while providing users with moderate confidence regarding the reliability of financial information. Review engagements are particularly useful where users require independent assurance but the cost and scope of a full audit are not justified. Review of interim financial information performed by the auditor of the entity. Publicly listed entities and large organizations frequently prepare interim financial reports between annual reporting periods. When the practitioner conducting the review is also the entity's external auditor, knowledge obtained during the annual audit enhances the efficiency and effectiveness of interim review procedures. Interim reviews focus on identifying significant changes since the previous audited financial statements through analytical procedures, management inquiries, review of board minutes, examination of accounting policies, and assessment of unusual transactions occurring during the interim period. Although substantially less extensive than an annual audit, interim reviews provide timely assurance that financial information remains free from material misstatement. Review where the assurance practitioner is not the auditor of the entity. Where the practitioner performing the review has not previously audited the entity, additional procedures may be necessary to obtain sufficient understanding of the business, accounting systems, internal controls, and financial reporting environment. Because prior audit knowledge is unavailable, practitioners may perform additional inquiries and analytical procedures to establish an appropriate understanding before expressing a review conclusion. Nevertheless, the engagement remains a limited assurance engagement governed by review standards rather than auditing standards. Review of financial information for SMEs. Small and medium-sized entities, SMEs, often seek review engagements as a cost-effective alternative to full audits. Reviews provide lenders, investors, and other stakeholders with moderate assurance while imposing lower compliance costs on smaller organizations. Review procedures are proportionate to organizational complexity and generally emphasize management inquiry, financial analysis, and evaluation of accounting records rather than extensive substantive testing or control evaluation. This approach provides an appropriate balance between assurance quality and engagement efficiency for many privately owned businesses. Review of other historical financial information. An Australian perspective. Within Australia, review engagements are governed by Australian standards aligned with international standards on review engagements while incorporating additional regulatory requirements where applicable. Reviews may extend beyond financial statements to include historical financial schedules, grant acquittals, regulatory reports, trust account reporting, and other historical financial information required by legislation or contractual arrangements. Australian assurance practitioners must comply with ethical requirements, quality management standards, independence obligations, and professional standards while tailoring review procedures to the specific characteristics of each engagement. As reporting frameworks continue to evolve, other assurance engagements will become increasingly important in supporting financial transparency, regulatory compliance, and stakeholder confidence. Through specialized audits and review engagements, assurance practitioners provide valuable independent assurance across diverse reporting environments while maintaining professional integrity, objectivity, and adherence to international assurance standards.